Hey everybody, this is Chris K, and you're listening to the Productive Parks 5-Minute Podcast, the show for busy people working to change the game in the parks and recreation field. In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about cicadas and park maintenance. Certain parts of the Midwest will have extra visitors in the late spring and early summer, but they may not be the type of visitors you're expecting. Billions, even trillions of cicadas will emerge from the ground. The good news, cicadas are harmless to humans. However, they can cause some issues for your parks and landscaping, especially in 2024. Learn about the 2024 cicada emergence and what it means for your landscaping and park maintenance crew. About cicadas. Cicadas are a natural part of the ecosystem. They spend most of their lives underground. When we see them as adults, many are just over an inch long. Their bodies are black on top and orange on the bottom. They also have bright red eyes and transparent veiny wings. One of the most notable traits of cicadas is the distinct, loud buzzing sounds produced by the males. The sound is created by specialized structures on their abdomens. It's amplified by their hollow bodies, and the males use these sounds to communicate and find mates. There are two types of cicadas, annual and periodical. Their populations are cyclical. Annual cicadas spend 2 to 5 years underground. The synchronization of their emergence cycles, however, causes them to make yearly appearances. Periodical cicadas spend 13 to 17 years underground. 3 species of periodical cicadas have a 17-year life cycle, and 4 have a 13-year life cycle. Once they emerge from the ground, they're ready to mate. Periodical cicadas appear as a brood composed of multiple species that appear simultaneously. Since cicadas have many predators, including birds, insects, and small mammals, they defend themselves by coming out in large numbers. The frontline cicadas may become prey, but soon the predators become too full to keep consuming the relentless waves of cicadas. After mating, the females place their fertilized eggs in tree branches. The females have a tube-like organ that makes small slits into the tree stems to deposit the eggs. A female can lay as many as 600 eggs. After 6 to 7 weeks, the eggs hatch. The nymphs fall to the ground. They dig into the soil and feed off the sap of the tree roots, not to be seen again for years. What makes 2024 special for cicadas? 2024 will be quite a year for cicadas in parts of the Midwest. Both the 13-year and 17-year brood species will emerge from the ground around the same time. These two broods will not have emerged at the same time since 1803. Researchers say that central Illinois will probably see the most overlap between the two broods, with billions, even trillions of cicadas appearing in some areas. Luckily, the influx of cicadas will only last around 8 weeks. Damage that cicadas cause. Here's some of the good news. Cicadas are mostly beneficial to the environment. They are a valuable nutrient-packed food source for birds, squirrels, snakes, and other predators. These insects also help aerate lawns and improve water filtration into the ground. As the cicadas die off and decompose, they restore nutrients to the soil. After emerging from the ground, cicadas like to hang out in trees. You may notice that the extreme tips of some branches get leaves that turn brown. This type of dieback is called the flagging, caused by the females placing their eggs in the branches. Overall, even with the huge numbers that appear, cicadas are not considered destructive pests to trees or shrubs. Younger and more vulnerable trees and transplants may suffer some significant damage if precautions aren't taken. Preparing for cicadas. Set your trees and landscaping up for success and cicada survival with these actionable precautions. Maintaining your trees. Healthy trees are more resilient to the damage caused by cicadas. If your team does regular tree maintenance, there won't be much to worry about. Trees with adequate hydration, fertilization, and routine care will remain resilient no matter how many cicadas take temporary shelter in them. Inspect your trees. Before the emergence, check for weakened or damaged branches. Overhanging branches may provide easy access for cicadas. Prune trees if necessary. Postpone planting. If you know that your area will be affected by cicadas, consider holding off planting any new trees. Trees already go into a transplant shock after being planted. Add the many tiny slits caused by the cicadas, and the tree may be too stressed to survive. If you decide to go along with planting plans, make sure you consider netting those trees. Netting trees. Covering young or vulnerable trees with a fine mesh netting is one of the best ways to prevent cicadas from laying eggs on their branches. The netting reduces or eliminates the likelihood cicadas will damage your trees. Remove old debris. By removing fallen branches and dead wood, you eliminate the cicada's food source and places to hide. Your property becomes less attractive to cicadas, who may flock to other trees in wooded areas. Maintain equipment. Make sure those leaf blowers are in good working order. They may come in handy. More on this in a little bit. They're here. What do we do when cicadas emerge? If you've taken the precautions mentioned above, you'll likely set yourself up for success in preventing significant cicada damage. Skip insecticides. Too many cicadas emerge at once for insecticides to be effective. The insecticides may do some damage to the first wave of cicadas emerging, but they will keep coming, so save your insecticides for another day. Regularly monitor trees. Look for signs of cicada activity like a tree flagging, yellowing leaves, or splitting bark. It may be helpful to keep records with paper or digital park inspections to keep track of any noted damage. Hydrate plants. Irrigation helps maintain the health of trees and brushes during the cicada season. Ensure your plants get enough water, especially during hot, dry spells, to keep them strong and resilient. Maintain lawns and turf. The tidier the area, the less inviting it is for cicadas looking for best places to lay their eggs. Keep turf well maintained by mowing regularly. Also, remove any debris or fallen branches that cicadas may use for food or hiding spots. Consider programming changes. A billion or so cicadas can interfere with some of your agency's programming. You may have to modify locations, schedules, and other plans to coexist with the temporary visitors. For example, an outdoor day camp for preschoolers at a site with hundreds of thousands of buzzing cicadas flying around may be too much for the youngsters. However, it could offer a good learning experience by incorporating education about cicadas in a more controlled environment. Cicada buzzing can also get loud, and like pickleball noise, some people can't stand it. Some cicada songs can reach 90 decibels, about as loud as a running lawnmower, tractor, or truck. Some programs may have to relocate if those participating have sensitivities to noise. Be sure the maintenance team is aware of the changes with streamlined work requests or other communication methods to ensure recreation staff have everything they need to complete programs successfully. Use leaf blowers. As the cicadas die off, those bodies will be everywhere, along with what's left over from the molting process. Remember, the leftover cicadas are packed with nutrients that benefit your landscaping, but they may not be very beneficial to your walkways or getting tracked into your facilities. Clear walkways and other heavily trafficked areas and blow those beneficial bodies into the areas that can use the nutrients. Be patient. Cicadas are only temporary, and there's a good chance this nuisance is going to be doing more good than bad. In 6 weeks or so, the giant swarm of cicadas will be nothing more than a memory, aside from those decomposing bodies. Oh, and you won't have to worry about the co-emergence of these two broods for another 221 years. The emergence of trillions of cicadas may seem like a nightmare waiting to happen, but if you properly maintain your landscaping and are willing to adjust some programming and protect your vulnerable plants, it will be just a temporary nuisance. Well, that wraps it up. Best of luck with your cicadas, and thanks for listening to the Productive Park 5-Minute Podcast. Remember to tune in each week for more tips on how to make your agency more productive.